Okay, I'm going to share with you another page. I forgot that I was videotaping this project, and I just went right ahead and made another part of this page. I started it, so I'll finish it with you. All I did was make a 6x6 pocket for this. What I did is I took the flap that was on, this is my base page, okay? And what I did is I took the flap and I cut it in half so that I would have two flaps. So on the bottom I made a 6x6 pocket, and I did the same thing. I cut a just a little half circle or a little moon out of it, and I left this one open. I did not put a flap over it. I can decide to do that later if I want to, but right now I just left it open. This was a really easy pocket to make. All I did was cut the bottom piece to, let's see, if this is 6x6, I cut the bottom piece to 7 by 6.5, and then I scored it at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides, and then cut this top piece to 6x6 and put that in, and then folded all the 3 sides, the 3 pockets in, and put that on top of it. So I made the little pocket. Okay? To do this one, I'm not going to make it 6x6. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to make the opening on the side rather than the top like this one. And it's not going to be 6x6. So the first thing I want to do is I want to measure my flap, and I've done so, and I know that I am at 4 5/8. Okay? So I know that I want to keep this one right around that same size, but I want to make it a little bit easier to measure, so I'm actually going to go up to 4 3/4, okay? So now to do the same thing on the bottom, I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4 by, I still need it to be 6, so I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4 by 6.5. So 6.5 by 5 3/4. Okay, and then I can show you how I made the pocket. So I get my cutter. I do not need this right now. Get a piece of paper, and I'm gonna first cut it to 6.5. 6.5, and then 5 3/4. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this aside, my scoreboard, and now I know I want to score at a 1/2 inch on the 6.5 side, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch there, and I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch from that side. So this is what it looks like, okay? Scored on 3 sides. Then I'm going to remove my corners at an angle. So it looks like that. Going to remove that one as well. Okay. And what that leaves me with is 4 3/4 by 6. So now I need to cut a piece of paper that is 4 3/4 by 6. I have this scrap here. I'm going to see it will work. Yay! 4 3/4 by 6. Okay. Then keep it all cohesive, I'm going to go ahead and find my center again. There we go. Just mark my center, and then I'm going to go ahead and line my center mark up with a line that's on my paper here. Okay. Then I'm going to line my X. There's a plus sign or an X on my circle cutter. I'm going to line that up with the same line, and then I'm just going to cut. And I think I'm going to do this one at 4 3/4 again. And there we have that. Okay. Now I take all my folds on here and push them down, and then I start with my sides, and I'm going to apply my adhesive. If you're using 12 by 12 paper, you could probably make this work with the 12 by 12 and not have to have as much, not have to do it in 2 pieces. I don't have cream 12 by 12 paper right now, so I'm making it work with what I have, which is 8.5 by 11, which is why I have, you know, so many extra steps right now. So all I'm gonna do here is line this up on the top there, and then press it down, and I have a lovely pocket. Now sometimes, yep, and that is the case this time, sometimes my measurements aren't exact and I have a little extra, so I just turn it over and trim it away very carefully, because you don't want to trim the fold or you won't have a pocket necessarily. I just like it all to match up, so I just trim away the excess. Okay, so now we have that. We're going to take our page here and we're going to put this on the page like that. Okay, to do that, what I did was I applied 2 rows of adhesive to my flat, because once again this is going to be used a little bit more than normal, so I just put a little extra adhesive. Now I'm going to give you a little hint for when you did this one. When you do your bottom one, what you're going to do, you do the bottom one first, okay? And then before you put it on, just kind of lay it down there and fold the flap over the top, because if you put it right up to the edge, then you will mess up your fold on this top one. So you don't want to put it right up to the edge. There is just a hair away from the edge, okay? So all you have to do for the top then is fold it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with where I want the bottoms to line up. So I'm going to line them up. Whoops. And because it's not, oh criminy, come on now. There we go. Because it's not right up to the edge, you're just going to do your best to get them to line up right. So I'm using the top and the edge so that they line up over here instead of lining up with my bottom here. And there we have another page done. Okay? And so then this is how it works, and it has nice little pockets. Okay? So there we have another one. And now we're going to do another, just a flap, and then I will be back with another fancy page.